Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. We have a hot episode, and for all you Beliebers out there, we don't have Justin, but we have the next best thing, and it's a big announcement. Dee, who do we have as our guest today?
We got Noah, one of the co-founders of Palms Premium, a pre-roll company, cannabis company out of Los Angeles. We actually had Noah on, I think about 18 months ago, right when the pandemic happened, talking about cannabis. And he's coming here to announce a big partnership, and we talk all about it.
Love it. Okay, and I think the main topic for today is, Facebook Armageddon. Is it over? Is this finally the awakening that we needed and Facebook needed to realize that we're all hooked and that they're doing things in search of profits and not, what's best for us? And maybe it's all about to change because yesterday was a pretty catastrophic day for all things Facebook Inc. So I think
we have to ban the Finsta. That's where we got to start.
You know what? You're right. That's a good point. I think we start there. So let's start there, and then we'll get into the rest of it. And we got a lot of other great topics to talk about. And one of our favorite topics, and look, I think a lot of our listeners love this one too, but it's companies that just burn through money, but are still looked at as a huge, huge success. We love this topic.
Yes, we love these companies.
Yeah, so we have a new one to talk about. That and many other things. Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome to Group Chat.
I'm going to start with a song.
I'd like that.
I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh, yeah, shit. I got my weed from California. That's that shit. We got weed here from California.
We got weed from California. That's that shit.
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay, I didn't know what you were doing there. So, I was a little nervous. I thought you were freestyling.
I mean, if I... Back in my freestyle days, so real quick side story on 5-4 Office 2000, call it 5, 6. On Fridays, we used to do freestyle Fridays.
Oh my gosh!
But you didn't participate.
Was that?
Occasionally. No, it was even before that. This was like our first office.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
This was maybe even before. I mean, it was like only 4 of us in there. I think Amanda was probably there.
It was just small enough number so you don't get embarrassed.
Yeah, the smaller the better, I think, for that situation.
And obviously canceled in today's. I mean, God knows what was said.
I do remember.
Yeah,
I do remember
sure.
Jada would lead the charge.
Yeah,
he was actually good.
Chris was good too.
That's true.
Yes.
Chris was good.
Yeah.
So
look, I'm glad you guys left that behind.
Yes.
I wish we had that footage.
I wish we did.
No, you don't. But I'm glad you brought it back a little bit for our intro of our guests. Who do we got?
We got a special guest, a good friend, Noah. He's one of the co-founders of Palms Premium, a pre-roll company. We've had Noah on the podcast probably like 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Probably like... And
that was call-in, right? You called in?
No, I think it was like early COVID where we did distance seating and masks.
What it was.
Yes. I think it was like April, maybe of last year. April, May of last year.
That was sketchy.
Ooh, that's really sketchy.
Well, the news must go on. Nothing stops.
Extreme podcasting, essential business.
Exactly. And so they announced something big. I mean, for cannabis, I would say it's one of the biggest things I've ever heard. Tell us what happened, Noah.
So you alluded to it with the intro. So we're super excited. We just announced yesterday that we are doing a limited edition pre-roll collaboration with Justin Bieber called Peaches Pre-Rolls by Palms. So those are rolling out. Yeah, those are rolling out in California, Nevada, Massachusetts, and Florida.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And so,
I mean, yeah, lots of questions.
Did this happen pre the song or after the song?
It happened after the song. We would have loved to have, a year to be working on this project, but the opportunity came up and we couldn't say no. So we definitely hustled to make sure we made it happen. And we wanted to acknowledge the song and build on the success of the song. And when we got the opportunity and Justin came to us, we wanted to figure out what would make sense, what product, what would be authentic. And because he was familiar with our product and brand, you know, we went with the Peaches pre-rolls.
What's interesting is when I first heard the song line, you know, Justin Bieber, to me, you know, he's like global pop star. And I hold him to a different standard than, say, NBA Youngboy.
Sure.
You know, who I hold in high regard too. But like, you know, when I heard him say like just weed in a song, it was interesting because it was like it was never in his previous type of music that he would put out. Like maybe there are references to it and I just didn't catch it. But this was a very blatant reference. So I was like, okay, cool. Like he's embracing it publicly.
Yeah, historically, it seems like he shied away from it. Obviously, just I think because the demographic and the age of his audience was being mindful of that. And then he talked about his cannabis consumption a bit in his documentary that came out on YouTube the other year. And then, you know, he was spotted at a dispensary and that was a bunch of news. And so he's gotten more comfortable talking about his cannabis consumption as well as his journey with mental health. And so that was like a big driver that sort of got us excited to work with him.
Right before we started recording, you said this is your first partnership, and it's a partnership with arguably the biggest star in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how does that work? You just got thrown in the fire.
Yeah. I mean, so partnerships are definitely something that we had been interested in to grow the brand. We've obviously seen the success that you guys and other companies have had with it. And especially for cannabis, we're limited at how we can get the word out as far as paid media, any of that, certain outlets that don't want to cover it. So we share some close connects as far as investors, advisors. That's how Palms originally got on his radar. And that's how sort of the opportunity came to us, where he was interested in doing something in the cannabis space. And I assume other people were pitching it, but they decided to go with ours. And like you mentioned, we didn't expect to start this big.
Right.
And so it was definitely learning and, you know, figuring out stuff for the music space and how to get approvals on all of that. But then the other layer for cannabis is we have to have different packaging in every different state. And so managing inventory and the rollout for all those different states, for all the regulation and compliance has been a big task. But we couldn't say no. We're like, hey, we're going to give this our best shot. And the fact that they really like the designs we put together and the packaging and the product, it all ended up coming together.
Yeah, I have to imagine the number of brands across all categories separate from cannabis that are pitching Justin Bieber on a daily basis. And congrats on pulling one of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah, thanks very much. You know, we're fortunate to have, you know, surrounded ourselves with a great team of people, like investing and advising, like Dee being one of them. Your guys' buddies, like the Hwood crew, has also been super supportive. And them, I think being close with Justin as well helped as far as just vouching for us. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you appreciate it. We're really excited to kind of share and just the feedback. Like Palms' whole goal is to make cannabis approachable. So the idea, like you talking Justin versus NBA Youngboy, we like the idea of somebody who's like not as expected, right? Like we love Snoop Dogg, we love Seth Rogen, we love Willie Nelson talking about cannabis so openly for so many years. But for us and our customer and what we're trying to do with the brand, we're like, sweet, Justin has that large appeal. And for him to be able to team up with us was like amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so the product is pre-rolls.
Correct.
And is it, what's different about it? What is like, from a product standpoint, unique?
Yeah, so we have our 7-packs. So it's a 7-pack of half-gram pre-rolls. These are coming in 3 different strains. So a sativa, an indica, and a hybrid, just at a general level. And then specific strains in each different state. And then this one is a little bit higher end and a little bit higher testing. It depends on how you view cannabis, how you consume cannabis. So this is all grown indoor. So some people are fanatics about that, but it's also testing higher as far as the THC.
Got it.
So a big part of our Palms line and our baseline is the idea of it's approachable, mid-strength by design. Some of this is definitely a little bit stronger because we wanted to have that differentiation. We didn't want to just roll out with a custom box. And then all of these packs come with a custom Peaches lighter. So we're hoping to do like some different ones of those and different drops. So his fans and our like customers, it's something that encourages people to buy more and they can get excited about the different drops when they're coming out.
And so do you get the whole box when you make the purchase, or is it just The pre-rolls you're selling.
No, so you guys get like the VIP
Ooh.
exclusive gifting.
Like Justin's buddies?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And so
You can tell everyone that comes over, oh, Justin gets.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like, yeah, we've got the boxes are really challenging to do at retail. Again, the regulations are super challenging. We can't send these out of state.
Yeah.
So each of our partners have some of the same product to gift out in different ways, but we have to do it on a local level. So, because mental health was a big part of it, we have like the journal in there. So like it's talking about like mental health. We have our candles, which we're big on just for setting the mood and then the vibe. Pins are really big in the cannabis industry. And then there's like some other fun stuff, some local Georgia peach preserves, which is like incredible.
Okay.
And then like a custom Zippo and some other fun stuff.
And so it's available in all 4 states right now.
Yeah, it's starting to roll out at different retailers across those 4 different states. In Massachusetts, we have an exclusive partnership with a group there called Netta. And then in Florida, it's a group called Certera. So those are the names of the retail operations there. Nevada, we have a bunch of different partners there, including MedMen, Planet 13, Jardine. And in California, a bunch of different partners. For delivery, which is really popular in California, we're on Amuse. We're on Ease Delivery now. So people can get it delivered to their door. Should be rolling out at MedMen and other shops as well. LAVC, which is just down the street from you guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so select retailers.
And is there signage like, hey, this is Justin Bieber's brand? Like how do customers realize that he's affiliated?
Yeah, so we were super fortunate to get the approval. His name's on the box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like that was huge. So we got his name on the box. We're not doing a lot of traditional advertising like, billboards or stuff like that. We just haven't seen it move the needle. So we did a big press push yesterday. So people are really excited about the news and a huge variety of sort of outlets, so it was, I was able to check off group chat before as far as my bucket list, for news coverage. But we had some exciting coverage yesterday for some of the mainstream news, not necessarily cannabis specific, which was great. So a lot of mainstream outlets picked it up.
That's amazing. So cannabis line for Justin Bieber coming soon?
Exactly. Keep an eye out for it. Seeing what happens. This is a limited edition. I think he's dipping his toe in, rightfully so, to see sort of what's going on. A lot of other celebrities have gotten involved.
Is he the biggest star to do something in cannabis? Like who's?
Yeah.
What?
He has to be, right?
Gotta be. I mean, who's even a bigger star anyway? There's only like 3 other.
Yeah, who else would be bigger? I mean, Beyonce?
Beyonce would be huge. Drake dipped his toe in, but in Canada. And I'm not sure what happened with that partnership. The big thing for us launching this that I want to mention to you is one of the things that we felt super strongly about was that part of this is supporting causes that are specific to the cannabis industry. So we have one organization that we're supporting with profits from this. That's called Veterans Walk and Talk, which is all about supporting veterans and mental health with plant-based medicine, as well as Last Prisoner Project, which helps advocate for people who have been in jail or families affected by people who are in jail for nonviolent cannabis-related crimes. And so when we started exploring this partnership, we told Justin, hey, obviously we're super excited about this, but we want to make sure we're doing something for the industry. Justin, we knew this was going to get a lot of coverage, and we wanted to make sure we gave back to the industry because, we're standing on the shoulders of everybody who was selling pot and, dealing weed before to help make the industry what it is in California and all the other states. So it was really exciting to be able to support those organizations, not just with the press coverage, but also financially, being able to do something meaningful and help get the word out. So we're super proud of that. And wanted to make sure, obviously, we're excited about the brand and the business, but also that aspect of this collaboration is super exciting for us.
Yeah, that's nice work. And I love the homage to the drug dealers.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, we got to recognize
our forebearers,
our forefathers,
the ones who came before us.
Exactly. It's like how my mom, right? I think all my mom's friends back in Minneapolis think I'm a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That's what's funny is it is true. In all seriousness, there are all of these people who risked their freedom, their safety, you know what I mean, for decades. And now it's like we're able to like, oh, I started a weed brand. You know, like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
If you just think about our adulthood, because we're obviously kind of old now. When we graduated college,
Speak for yourself.
weed and gambling were arrestable offenses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now everyone's smoking
Now
weed
it's
and
a
gambling all day.
It's not even a weekend. That's just a regular evening. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I really hope that's one thing that I hope that not to put a downer on it, but I do hope that as this stuff becomes like federally legal, they find a way to correct that because it's just so gnarly. You know, like how there's still people punished for that. You know, like what's your do you guys deal with that a lot?
Mitch gonna allow that? Come on.
I know it's Mitch's fault, man.
But drama, to your point, it's wild, right? Like you were up at Hall of Flowers the other year and seeing there's a huge convention with people having trade shows and booths built out advertising cannabis. And then there's some guy still in jail from old school who's just like selling a little bit of weed or not even selling weed, just possessed it for a certain state. Like that is horrible. And we have to fix it.
The fact that if you are in jail federally or in a state for a nonviolent weed-based crime, it's pathetic.
I mean, I talked to a guy today. Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No, I was just saying it's pathetic that we still have that. Like now how weed is so widely available. Yeah, it's just stupid.
I talked to a guy today, probably in his 40s. He's a demand planner, like for businesses, apparel businesses, stuff like that. And he now works with weed businesses. And I'm like, 20 years ago, you're Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
You know, like you're literally planning shipments. Like you're planning mass shipments. It's like, it's fucking crazy. And now it's just like this regular dude that's like, I picked up a couple cannabis businesses. It's so interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're seeing a lot of people because obviously the industry is huge and the money is massive now. So it's like you hear, I mean, especially in clothing, because clothing has gone through a reckoning where a lot of these jobs got displaced, and a lot of clothing people ended up in cannabis, either in marketing or accounting or like it's an easy segue.
It was like the streetwear like graduation.
Yeah,
you graduated from streetwear to go.
When
to
he was
cannabis.
talking about Hall of Flowers, which is for our listener, it's a big trade show. For cannabis, it was literally like you were walking through Agenda 10 years ago. It was all the same people. Like it's like, oh shit, good to see you. I wonder what happened. Is literally I had so many friends.
That's amazing.
My last question: while dealing with Justin Bieber, did you get to meet the Kid Leroy?
Oh my god!
Not yet.
I had to ask.
Everywhere Bieber goes, he's followed by LeBron.
I think so. You just couldn't help it, Anand.
I think
Anand's like, I like the Bieber collab, but when's the Kid Leroy one coming?
By the way, judging by his song lyric, I don't know if he's a weed guy yet. He's still getting waking up and getting fucked up and getting wasted.
I'm sure he's doing more than that.
Yeah, you
Those
guys should get him on the
sunglasses
right
are
track.
on for a reason.
Yeah, it's not red eyes from weed. Yeah, you guys could get him on the right track. You could get him off of whatever he's waking up and getting wasted on to waking up and having a pre-roll.
Straighten them out with some pre-rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, congrats. Where do people go? What website should they go to find out their retailers?
So you can find retailers close to you on our website, which is palmspremium.com. Also our Instagram, same thing, Palms Premium. We'll be posting updates. We'll be posting drops up there, showcasing sort of fun content that's going to be coming out with the gifting and whatever stuff like that. And then reach out. Like our team that's managing social media, we're trying to help people with customer service to like find what's closest to them and be able to track it down. The one thing with this is, we're getting hit up by tons of people internationally in states where it's not available, which is exciting that they're seeing it. But California, Nevada, Massachusetts, Florida for right now, working on some others. But yeah, check out the site.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, they can come to America now in November and they can buy it in person.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Do a little
Brazilians.
marijuana tourism.
Yeah, exactly. That's real.
Yeah, it is. I think that's how Colorado was like thriving for a couple of years. Congrats, man. That's a huge, huge deal. And I think like for the game of weed, like getting a star on that level to embrace it and be so outwardly outspoken about it, I think is a huge deal for the bigger conversation about weed. So congrats.
Yeah, really appreciate it. We're super proud. We're definitely have a lot of work to do. You know, the announcement is fun and exciting, but we got to get back, take care of orders, make sure we're able to keep everything in. If you guys have any tips on, you know, the global shipping crisis and getting packaging over here quicker,
I wish.
I'll be listening to the episode.
No fucking clue what to do.
Yeah. Buy a 747.
Yeah. Do what Costco did. Buy their boat. Buy the damn boat.
We'll see how this collab goes first.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
you guys.
All right, man.
Well, thank you, man.
Talk soon.
Congrats. All right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, congrats. Getting the Biebs to co-sign weed, I think, is a really big deal.
It is a really big deal. And we just took a whiff of the box. It's fucking strong.
Pretty potent. I almost started sneezing.
So
Maybe you are getting old.
I will say
Is there
why
a
it's
skunk in here?
I will say it's even
Anand
more,
calls the police.
There's weed here. There's some illegal activity over here. Back in my day, they used to lock people up for this.
arrest them at sight. What I was saying is I think it's even more important that Justin Bieber, who for all intents and purposes is a rehabilitated star that clearly had substance abuse problems, that's been well publicly documented. And it's okay now for someone who is kind of on the other side of that to publicly endorse cannabis.
Yeah.
And that's for someone who's seemingly healthy now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no argument to be made that like prescription and alcohol is better than cannabis.
I know. There's zero.
Zero.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's on the definitely going the right direction. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to talk about some news?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you know how people get drunk and like binge shop on online.
Yep.
Here's a cool idea. Maybe this is more of like a weed thing. Like maybe if you're getting high and you're looking for a fun activity, turns out you can go buy unclaimed Amazon and USPS packages.
Yes.
So I don't know whether like, are you buying a mystery and you're hoping it's good? Is this like Storage Wars, but like with Amazon boxes? What is this exactly?
So originated on TikTok.
Love
So
it.
I started just searching USPS. I was reading about how they're changing a lot of the way they handle priority mail and how they're kind of anticipating challenges for the holiday. And I end up in this article, which is insane.
Mhm.
Basically, someone on TikTok found out, and this is public. It's not like it was like some secret. There's a website called Gov Deals, a company that the U.S. Postal Service contracts with to sell unclaimed items. There's also a website called Liquidation that lets you buy bulk packages from Amazon, Target, Walmart, Lowe's. So in some cases, you see the image because maybe the package is busted and they tell you what it is. And, they make an estimated retail guess on how much it is and they just dump it. And in some cases, it's fucking mystery. You don't know what you're going to get.
That's great.
So
I feel like somebody could like really app that up, like make it cool, TikTok it.
Yeah. And so, there is like now, obviously, I mean, considering it's like found money, I'm guessing I have to check the prices of what things are going for. But like, it kind of could be a good, like if you're a hustler, buying one-off items, like if you go go spend $1,000, you might be able to flip it for $3,000.
I could already see the Gary Vee rant about this.
Yeah. You go to govdeals.com, you go buy a tractor, and you flip that tractor.
You flip that tractor. No sleep. Flip tractors. I feel like this is way better than going to yard sales.
Because you actually have no idea what's in the box.
Well, in some cases, there are clearly identifying, like on Gov Deals, they're selling everything like the government is liquidating. So there's literally like tractors on there. But like there's a lot of sites that just sell the closed package and it's like a
You could get like a pack of pencils or you get a pair of sneakers.
You could get Aquaphor
Like a
or
new
you could get
iPhone.
Jordans. Yeah, exactly. So,
oh my God. You could literally start a site that's what'sinthebox.com and it's just
And
what's
I'm
in the
sure
box?
everyone's experienced this. There's some massive Amazon boxes with nothing in it, basically.
oh yeah, like we bought
Yeah, that's
like one item, massive box. And you're like, why
So-
the hell do we
There's
have
like a
this big of a box?
dictionary in there.
Yeah, like the funniest is
Like
huge
sick.
box the other day for what we bought were recycled utensils, and it was a small box, but the box was, and we bought recycled utensils in the biggest cardboard box. With
Why is that? Is
papers.
that because they just run out of boxes and so they just throw it in whatever's
No,
there?
you know, I spoke to someone about it. It's like the way they optimize the shipments and even like the pallet. Like sometimes
it.
the box size, it's better for them to be bigger because the way it will fit and so that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but like that's interesting. But
I think it's probably more along the lines what Drama is referencing is basically like they know they have to get your shipment out in 2 days, whatever boxes are available.
yeah.
We're not optimizing for space. We're optimizing to make sure we get your goods on time.
Yeah, it's weird because it's a common problem. Like it happens. And the weird thing to me is like it's not part of this new clusterfuck of problems. They've been doing that.
Yeah.
Like that's not like
100%.
a post-COVID logistics issue thing.
The
They've
box
been-
industry
they've been
just must be on fire.
on fire. I don't think they can make them fast enough.
I mean, how many boxes do you get a day? It's insane.
Yeah. I mean,
But think about how much it went up over the last year and a half.
some,
know what I mean?
some,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
some random
Crazy.
dude in like freaking
Indiana.
Yeah, it's just the box king just became
The
a
box.
billionaire.
Yeah.
Is just slanging boxes all day.
The titan of boxes. He just runs the town. Speaking of logistics problems, is there a general like slowdown? You said you were poking around in USPS. Is there like, I'm hearing about like a general like slowdown of just mail time. So we've talked about like shipments from China and stuff like that, but general mail, if I send something back to my parents in Ohio, is there jam ups happening there too, leading into the holidays?
Yeah, so USPS priority mail was basically like 1 to 3 days anywhere in America. Like that was like their preferred kind of method. And then first class US mail was also 1 to 3 days. And US priority was like, in most cases, you were getting it like next day in most parts of the country. And first class, let's say it was a range of 1 to 3, 4 days. Now, basically in an effort to turn the US Postal Service around, they're slowing delivery times to be more profitable with it. Well, I mean, they lose, just to give you an example, they are expecting 160 billion in losses over the next decade. And so they feel that like changing this strategic plan on how to kind of optimize the postal service will actually turn this business into a profit. I think they lost 106. I think they lost $160 billion last year. I could be wrong, but it's like some staggering number that they lost. And so the U.S. Postmaster General feels that, offering these different levels of services and increasing prices and figuring it out. I mean, like, think about it. Like, you're a carrier at the end of the day, U.S. Postal Service. Mail is on absolute fire. You should not be losing money anymore.
But what do you get from? What do you get from the USPS? The only thing that comes through regular post office for me, I'm curious about you two, are bills.
So
That's it.
Small boxes though, priority.
priority mail is huge. You know how many e-com companies use priority mail? You know also FedEx and Amazon and UPS and Amazon still use USPS for last mile.
That's true.
For a lot
Yeah,
of,
I
lot
guess
of
I'm wrong.
It's
So, like-
so crazy. How could you literally have? It's like you're selling air.
Yeah.
Like you're selling. Like, how could you fuck that up so bad?
Yeah, and I bet you when you looked at the U.S. Postal Service, a big part of their cost structure is because postal workers are unionized. Their wages are probably very high, and they're able to pay postal workers, and probably because of the union, you can't push the efficiency either, right? You know, like, I mean, you see Amazon trucks at like 11 p.m. knocking on your door. It's like,
I'll have a notification like still arriving today, and it's like
Yeah.
midnight, and I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, and so like Amazon's obviously pushing the envelope on that side, and
Yeah.
and so the argument could be made like, sure, U.S. Postal Service is paying fair wages. That's why they're losing money. But like,
not a good argument for fair wages.
Yeah, then it's not fair wages, because if the business can't make money, is U.S. Postal Service should just that be just a public utility, and like it's just a cost we just have to eat as a country. But then FedEx and UPS and all these other people make money doing it, right? And Amazon
throw
makes money
Bezos in there. Give Bezos a month and your financials.
I know, and I think that's what frustrates taxpayers is like, yes, we want fair wages, but like we also don't want to waste money, because $160 billion is.
Don't you remember Donald Trump just eviscerating the post office?
Yeah.
I do, but
summer?
I didn't know it was that bad. Like I remember that, but I was like, it's probably just like kind of inefficient. And by the way, when I say it's like selling air, I mean it's like selling oxygen. Like you're literally selling something that you don't have to create demand for. It's just built in.
Yeah.
And you can't get that right. And it's not only not getting it right, 160 billion.
Yeah. So that's over a decade. So,
I know, but
yeah.
Jesus,
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could go to a lot of AOC's causes.
Dresses?
No, I'm just saying all the
All right, you want to go there, John?
Sorry, I had
no,
to
but
do it.
all the programs that the progressive left wants to fund, like you can find it in the government's P&L.
Yeah, you don't
without increasing
in
spending.
a second, yes.
Yeah.
That's,
easily.
I think, the frustration. But we're going to go ahead and hop right past that because we don't want to fall into the political landmine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get to some fun. I'm really excited about this story. I don't know. I saw that it happened, but I don't know causes or anything like that. But yesterday was like the end of Facebook. So all in one day, I mean, really, it hit all in one day, is there was a whistleblower that came out and did an interview. I think the big thing was like her interview was 60 Minutes. This is the woman who was the whistleblower who exposed the story about how Facebook had data and they had research showing that they knew how bad the apps were on the mental health of especially young women. But I think the woman finally kind of revealed herself and did a big interview. She did it with 60 Minutes. And so that was all over the place. But then
that was Sunday, yeah.
So what I'm saying though is then kind of at the same time as like that's getting its push, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they're all completely out, shortage or whatever you want to call it, outage. And not the normal one where like, oh, it's down for 30 minutes. They were all out for a very long time.
6 hours. Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Ad Manager, WhatsApp. I mean, here's the thing that really pissed me off. I don't care that things happen. You can, maybe they got hacked. Maybe they had something happen. Who knows? This is what they come out. To all the people and businesses around the world who depend on us, we are sorry for the inconvenience caused by today's outage across our platforms. Who the fuck does PR at Facebook? You fucking idiot.
I think
everyone out there, our bad.
Yeah, I think it's hubris, right? They know it doesn't matter. Everyone, I guarantee you, if you looked at usage today, while all those platforms were live, it was probably like an uptick from the day before when it was live.
Last night was probably the biggest night in Instagram history. Just like the FOMO of not seeing it for 6 hours. I mean, to be fair, like during the outage, I must have launched Instagram 35 times.
So WhatsApp really crushed me. I have so many conversations on WhatsApp, and not having WhatsApp, it was the actual real impact for me personally. I know obviously billions of people use Facebook and Instagram too, but I could have done without those two. Like if those two were out for a week, I don't think I'd really care.
I can't do a week. That's too much.
But WhatsApp, even for an hour,
they are big tobacco.
Yeah, they're unstoppable.
Like there's no, like yesterday to me showed number one, you had this woman speaking out, which her claims are really brutal. So if she's telling the truth, it's really gnarly. It's the same as big tobacco hiding data that cigarettes cause cancer. And then you see it live in action because all the apps go out and you see everyone turn into crackheads and like, I need my fix. Yeah, like everyone has their different, even Anand has WhatsApp and there's plenty of people like that. And even like, I'm sure my mom was probably freaking out that Facebook was down. I don't know. But the point is you saw live like how much everyone's hooked on it. aside from the business stuff, because that's very valid in my opinion, like, being out of your ads and your whatever is hurtful to the business, but just for personal use, like you saw how addicted everyone is.
Yeah, which is
And here's the more, I think what I'm the most curious about, because they came out and said it was a flaw internally because they didn't want to say they got hacked. If I put my conspiracy tinfoil hat on, I think they got hacked.
I do too. It has to be a gnarly one.
There was employees, we heard, that could not access the building because their key cards weren't working.
Damn.
So you're telling me Facebook, who has been processing whatever quantum of data for how many years, all of a sudden is offline for 6 hours?
It's insane.
This felt like the worst one in history. I mean, has there ever been a worse one than this for them?
I was trying to ask Dee about that. I don't remember.
There was one time, I think there was the biggest outage they've had since 2008. That's what they were saying. But yeah, I mean, look, we learned how addicted everyone is to it. So the stock market was down, and so the stock went down today. Yep. I mean, yesterday because of it. Obviously, today the market was up and Facebook was back up. What I love about it is, to your point, Drama, it doesn't matter what Congress says. It doesn't matter that it was down 6 hours. This is a money printing machine. And as long as you print money, we're happy for you.
Yeah, I don't think anyone... No one sold the stock. There was no backlash to the company.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you're like an upstart company and you're out 6 hours, you might be toast.
No, it was more of like,
I can't believe we didn't have it for 6 hours. It was more like
made everyone realize even more how good they are.
Yeah.
I'm putting some of my money into that thing.
I know. I mean, and what's crazy is I saw it in two of the brands I was following closely yesterday. Sales were down 40% because Facebook was up.
Yeah, for sure. Which is 40%. Scary, man. That's scary because not only that's a whole different topic to me. That's like you're not personally. There's like the personal addiction element, and then there's like how much your business relies on it.
Your business is addicted to it.
I think it was a foreign government. It's Facebook has tens and tens of billions of dollars in data infrastructure, data security. They don't go down. We all watch the Social Network. They don't go down.
We don't go down. Yeah. I agree. I think it was TikTok. I'm going to go ahead and say who I think it was.
So you think it's China?
Yeah, I think it's a warning shot. I think it's like, yo, we're coming for you and check out what we can do. And fuck you guys. What are you going to do to us? You don't even know where we are.
Exactly. You can't even come to our country.
Where are those?
Yeah. No one's ever seen TikTok offices.
You don't even have a CEO. What are you talking about? I think that's
so true.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's I'm putting the blame on that. The other thing is I started reading, I didn't finish it yet, so I wasn't going to do my little book review, but I started reading that Peter Thiel book that we talked about, The Contrarian.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I didn't realize, like, this guy's like...
Give me some stuff.
I mean,
Screws loose.
He's been involved in some, like, real far-right, like, writings and crews, and his way into, like, the Trump crowd was very much through like extreme far right people who like he came into the Trump. They're claiming that he came into the Trump orbit and Trump gave him a lot of power, and all of the people that he would recommend for roles in the office, Trump and Bannon would shut down because they were too extreme. That's insanity. And he God. He got really like hurt by Gawker outing him. Yep. He has this like huge chip on his shoulder. He has far right tendencies, it seems, and he's fucking ruthless. Like it is gnarly. And the reason why I say this now is because the claim is he's Zuckerberg's mentor.
Yep.
Like and Zuckerberg like came out. They had a meeting with all these right wing people at Facebook in 2016 where they all came and pled their case about why far right voices need to be heard, and Zuckerberg allowed it. He allowed the fake news and the bullshit and the craziness. And even that woman who spoke out in 60 Minutes said that they shut a lot of that stuff down in preparation for the 2020 election because they were worried about violence. But then they turned it right back off right afterwards. and allowed the bullshit to keep going. So either way, whatever. It's a little gnarly and scary. Like if that's who the main advisor is to the guy who runs this company that can't be stopped and we all can't live without.
That's a common theme amongst the most successful technology founders / investors. There's a borderline between libertarian and far right because they all believe they're libertarian. And this goes way beyond taxes. Just throw taxes out of it because they obviously care about that. But they just believe that the government is dysfunctional on both sides. Yeah. And they're like, we need to rip this apart. And Peter Thiel is one of them. So I think Peter Thiel was basically like, let's get this Trump figure in and burn it all to the ground and then rebuild it up.
That was it. They thought Trump was the access to burning it to the ground. And I think Trump and them, I think they came in, they're like, all right, fuck it, we're burning it to the ground. And even Trump was like, whoa.
This guy's a little too crazy.
It's gnarly, man. And if that, like I said, if that's even a little bit of the mentality that was mentoring the Zucks, I mean, no wonder this guy's just a savage. And then he must be sitting, covered in suntan oil somewhere or lotion and thinking like, I'm unstoppable after yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
This woman came out, tore you to the ground, and then your whole shit shut down in the same day. And now you're stuck the next day is fucking just rocking up. And you know that the numbers, like you said, Dee, the numbers he saw last night when it rejoined, he's like, oh my God, you guys aren't going anywhere. Imagine.
I remember the moment I got a notification from Daily Mail. Facebook appears to be going back online. I go look on it. I mean, it's like post 30 seconds ago, 1 minute 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 ago. Everyone was like dying to post their vomit food pics.
One of our fantasy football chat, we had to do an emergency iMessage chat while the outage was happening because it lives on WhatsApp. We were all panicking.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Even on that side, like people rely on WhatsApp and on all those things. I don't know.
And we're talking about just from the US, like for context, in the developing world, WhatsApp is it. That's how families communicate, everything, business is done, you name it. So I can't even imagine what was going on in Asia. Luckily, it was probably when they were sleeping for the most of it.
Yeah.
But geez, in like India, we just think about our cousins.
Yeah, they all communicate WhatsApp.
That's it.
Can you imagine if the New Republic site went down for the whole day and you're like, oh my God, you're panicking, you're whatever. And you put it back up and at full price, business as usual, you just sell 5x the shoes that you would on a normal day.
So the other conspiracy is they shut it down. They shut it down to show we're like the drug addict that went through withdrawals and they gave us it all back. Right?
Yeah, you want to turn us down? Get out of here.
The whistleblower. They're like, oh yeah?
Yeah, let me show you something.
You want to talk about regulation? Check this out. Yeah, I don't know. It's gnarly, but a big day in the world of social media. And, like I said, this woman's account is really, really gnarly, but I just don't think, look, I really do think Facebook especially, but a lot of the big tech is big tobacco. But the problem is you can't look at a lung scan of cancer and say, oh yeah, it gives you that. Because it's like this obscure, abstract, like mental health, especially in 16-year-old girls, but why? I literally heard I saw a clip on TikTok of like a Fox News guy like, where's the proof? This is nothing. Oh, mental health, you can't, there's nothing you can.
Yeah, I agree. It's very
that.
Tricky. Because you could just argue like, okay, I mean, then you have to ban Doritos.
Yeah, 100%. And you know how like in Mexico, when you buy a pack of cigarettes, it has like a cancerous lung on it?
Yeah,
Remember
it's
that?
Scary pictures. And no one
like, what are you going to do? You can't do that on your... Number one, people just chain smoke those things anyway. But the point is you can't do that for Facebook. There is no equivalent.
Yeah.
Like what are you going to do? Show a sad person?
Yeah.
And be like, don't use this. You'll look like this.
And then, it doesn't matter. There's nothing anyone can do or say that will reduce people's social media time. We know all the stuff the whistleblower said. It wasn't like, we had no idea.
I actually thought it was pretty stupid. Like the whistleblower. No, because of course they're doing all that.
I know.
Like who's surprised by any of this? We've been talking about this for 4 years. How long has this podcast been going on? For 4 years we've been talking about this. Like it's so obvious what's going on in Facebook's headquarters. And the other obvious thing is no one cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's gnarly. This is
gnarly. They are emphasizing, things that promote violence and unrest and all conspiracy theories. Like, of course, that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
We love it.
It's pretty crazy. It's also that, like, I don't know if you guys watched that interview, but they said that, like, I think it was the UK or something, is starting to try to figure out how to regulate Facebook because they realize that it's actually impacting policy decisions. Yeah. Like, they're actually changing policy because of, like, things that are trending on social media that feels like this is what the people want, even though they wouldn't normally do it. So it's changing what the news networks talk about. It's changing, potentially policy things. Like, I think the ripple effect of it is really gnarly.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I agree.
Fuck it. Keep it going.
Yeah. Unless you have an authoritarian government like China does, you're not going to be able to control this stuff. Like, China just said, you know what? If you're, under 18, you can't be on TikTok? Or whatever, their equivalent? Something
social,
like that?
Yeah.
No, they're
under 18, no video games.
Yeah.
So
they have a social media, they have some sort of limit.
Yeah, it's just time limit for video games, TikTok, all those
No,
things.
video games is you're only allowed an hour on Fridays and Saturdays.
But even
you
social
can't.
media, it's time.
But my point is they can do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like these congressional hearings, I mean, we all saw that clip of the guy talking about Finsta, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
What was it?
So this Senator Blumenthal, I think, is grilling one of the Instagram execs. Like, when are you going to ban Finsta? And she's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
She's like, we got to ban Finsta.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, this is the U.S. Congress.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
And
This
she
is recent?
explains-
This has just happened?
This is last week.
Yeah, last week.
This is worse than why doesn't my iPhone control my Google or whatever?
Yeah, so she has to explain, like, Finsta is colloquial for someone who wants a private Instagram account. And he goes, well, we need to ban Finsta.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean? These people are so incompetent. Our politicians are so incompetent on both sides. They have no idea what they're talking about. And Zuck is laughing.
Ban Finsta.
Someone ban Finsta. All right, sir. No more Finstas allowed.
What staffer allowed him to say that? You guys, all these congressmen have staffers.
Yeah, nobody knows. They're all idiots. And I think they're surrounded by people that are like, yeah, tell them. Tell them about the Finsta thing when you get out there.
Yeah. I'm sure that 24-year-old staffer is like,
Hey, make sure you bring up Finsta. Don't forget that.
And then he's like, all right, today's my last day, Blumenthal.
And then I saw Tim's girl, AOC, talking about we shouldn't have left Facebook by Instagram. Can we rewind in history? It was highly criticized as a stupid acquisition at the time.
He bought it in a weekend.
He bought it in a weekend 2 days before they had raised it a $500 million valuation, and he paid $1 billion, and everyone called him an idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, that's hindsight Harry there. Yeah, see. It's just like, come on. It was nothing then.
Yeah. No, everyone thought
when the three of you spend an hour talking about how much you hate that WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram were all down. How could this be allowed?
Yeah.
And then you say, but it's great that there's a monopoly over all social media
What do you mean, how could what be allowed? I'm not
God damn it, Tim. You just connected the most unconnected things.
Those are very connected.
Wait,
how could those possibly be unconnected?
No.
What was the how cannot be allowed? That's what I'm not following.
We're okay with Facebook being monopolized.
Okay, with all social media platforms being owned.
I think they're all terrible. They're terrible for society, but we're not going to do anything about it because the politicians don't understand what to do about it. Talking about an acquisition that shouldn't have happened when everyone criticized it at the time.
Why doesn't, like, for example, if AOC is so concerned about that, she should be leading the charge on banning TikTok. Because I guarantee
you,
start way there. It's already more addictive than Facebook and Instagram.
And it's controlled by a foreign government.
TikTok is at least competition for these. Like, the point is not to have
the data is controlled by a foreign government. Dude, and they get to press the scale on the Chinese government gets to press the scale on what influence American youth. Think about that. That's all you need to say in Congress, not fucking Finsta.
Yeah. Where's your capitalism now? Where's your capitalism say, oh no, we're throwing money at everything over here. We can definitely outsmart the Chinese. No, this is your answer to like all of these issues that capitalism will win out.
This is a national security
because
threat,
we have more money to throw
they don't have to play by the rules. They don't have to play by the rules that American companies have to play by.
The transparency and data in China versus America.
You think China developed a better algorithm because of regulation?
No, because they can acquire whatever companies they want And Facebook can't. If you let Zuck go on a fucking buying spree, I guarantee you he could beat ByteDance.
Yeah, they get to do whatever they want in China.
Like, I guarantee you, like, Zuck's better than everyone in China. There's like no question about that in my mind. He has his hands tied.
He can't buy anything. He can't buy lunch. He'll have a regulator if he buys the Subway.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're monopolizing the rye bread in America.
What's that, a foot long? You can get a 6 inch, buddy.
The guy bought some land in Kauai, and everyone's saying he ruined the entire state.
What's this cruise around that stupid waveboard thing? Covered in white face.
There were some good memes yesterday. Zuck on one of those waveboards with the American flag on the way to the data center.
Oh, that's good. Okay, we got to move on. We almost got sucked in again. Okay, we got another IPO that we should mention and talk about. Rent the Runway.
Yes.
IPO. How are we looking?
They should rent some profits.
They should rent revenue too.
Man. That was good. Oh
my God. I mean, I'm happy again. I want to join the party. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. This business did $157 million last year. Okay?
Yep.
2019, it did $256 million. So the pandemic clearly hurt it. So $100 million less in revenue.
Makes sense.
In 2020, I can accept that. Your business got hurt.
We'll give you that.
157 million in revenue. Remember that number. Okay? Put that in your mind. Now, net loss last year, $171 million.
Bullshit.
They lost more money. You would have been better off walking down the street and saying, hey, lady, you want this dress? It costs $5,000. I'll give you $4,000 to take it.
Literally. You could say, I'll give you $1.25 if you give me $1 back.
You have to run a business to do this? This is fucking nuts. Playoff. Drake. This is everything. And one meme is unbelievable. They're going public. So they get to be a publicly traded company.
Is this like, what's the story? Is it like a pandemic was so devastating and this year they're going to sort that all out?
No, their business isn't back. It's like,
the first 6 months they did 80 some odd million and lost 80 million. So 80 million in revenue, 80 million in losses.
They're one for one. Yeah. They're like the U.S. Postal Service of companies.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
I don't get, as an institutional investor, how you think this is I don't know.
So I think Bain is their biggest shareholder. This has got to be the CEO of Bain fucking calling a bunch of his buddies and saying, you got to take this pile out and you got to buy it. And we have a hot software coming up the pipeline.
Yep. That's the only explanation, in my opinion.
Because they're like, when we talked about that other company, AKA Brands, their fucking business is amazing. And they're profitable and they're healthy and they're growing and they have incredible marketing. And I just look at this business, unfortunately, this business doesn't work.
It doesn't work on a level.
But if you want to make a quick 30%, get in the pre-IPO because you know that sucker's going to pop.
If that thing pops, I mean...
It might pop. It's a familiar name.
I mean...
it's wild. It's just wild. I wish I understood it. I mean, if you guys tell me it's the Buddy Network and favors and false hopes, I'll believe you. But it just feels... This one is gnarly. This isn't like we did 100 million, but we lost 40. You lost more than you made.
I mean, Nikola is an outright fraud and still worth $4 billion, publicly traded. So at least they're renting the runway.
This is very disappointing because...
At least they don't own the liability. They can return the runway after it's over.
These are obviously, alumnus of the same school, so I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, they're HBS grads.
They're Harvard Business School. Which is disappointing for
that's why you.
We've never had any of these financial, wizardry from our school.
I think you do. It's just to get in. That's the case for going to
that's
Idaho,
it.
right?
But that's it, right? So I think you made a joke, but you're hinting at how these things happen.
Yeah.
You have pedigree founders.
Yeah.
You have pedigree investors.
Yeah. And no one's going to lose.
And everyone's like, hey, it's game on. We got to keep the club going. We're all past the velvet rope, and let's just keep the party going.
Shove this thing through.
Yep.
Let like,
because there's the thing with once you go public, as long as I want to say as long as you're not a fraud, because Nicole is a fraud for the most part. If you aren't,
that the line doesn't stop there. Don't sell yourself short on it.
If you aren't a fraud for the most part,
if you're like less than 50% fraud, you can survive as a public.
Once you're public,
fraud, we have a problem.
It's almost you're too big to fail.
Yeah, it's transparent. Look, half of us is a fraud.
It's 49%. I'm telling you.
51% of what I'm telling you is real. 49 is complete bullshit.
Oh my God.
And then they could get meme stocked. You don't even have to do revenue if you get meme stocked.
I mean, if I was them, I would be literally sending out a team.
So this is what I'm thinking. So it's kind of known that music labels seed all these TikTok stars with the songs, with the dances, right?
They pay them.
Like
and then the songs go viral, right?
Yeah.
Do it with Reddit.
Yeah.
You should seed shitty stocks to Reddit forums.
I think deep fucking value is Addison Rae. You know what I mean? Give them shares. Just say, do what you do.
This is a $10 billion company.
All right, why not, man? Nothing needs to.
So they raised last at $750 million last fall.
Yep.
Where is this pricing? $3 billion?
Over
they
$1 million.
They raised 750 at what?
At $750 million valuation last fall.
They raised at.
Sales are down 50%. That sounds like double at
1.5,
22x. Yeah.
Why not? They're trying so hard.
But by the way, don't get
this is
fucked
actually like on trend with where the participation trophy are.
Yeah.
You participated. You get a $2 billion
You
valuation.
tried. I mean, it's impressive to spend that much money.
You tried and you get to be a billionaire. And what's interesting is like, I know this sounds crazy if you're not in it. I talk to bankers a lot. This isn't far-fetched on how they actually come up with the valuation. You think we get 1.5? 1.6?
It's like, hey, we made Morgan Stanley $7 billion on Snowflake. Give us $200 million for Rent the Runway.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Let's rent that $200 million and we won't be returning it.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, you know what? Congrats to that founder or whoever has a lot of equity, because you, my friend, got away with murder.
And there's another company, Solo Brands, that's about to go public too. They're like an aggregator. They have like a bunch of outdoor businesses that they've aggregated. And
Don't you dare show me a profit. No profit, no IPO.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have a profit, but some of their brands are profitable. And one of the brands they bought just last month before they announced they're going public was Chubbies, which is the men's shorts business. So I go look on their 10K and they break out Chubbies. Chubbies is actually a profitable business. It did $44 million in revenue and $5 million in profit.
How much did they get acquired by? Or for?
I don't know. That number wasn't public. But they're rolling up.
Sounds like they weren't trying hard enough. Why do you have $5 million in profit?
Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I mean, I think our joke turned into reality.
Yeah.
I think profit is bad.
So they're taking Chubbies, Oru Kayak, and Isle Sup as a publicly traded company under Solo Brands. And they also have a Solo Stubbs, I think. And so I think the whole aggregate this year will do $200 million. They're trying to get $1 billion valuation. Seems light.
Yes.
I agree. I think get rid of some of that profit and you'll
get $2 billion.
You'll get there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Last but not least, what's the update on, we're kind of in this weird spot. Like we're coming up on holiday, but at the same time, summer's over. So I would assume like summer travel over, COVID's still kind of oddly lingering. Travel, hotels, what's going on there?
Yeah, so there was a lot of surveys being done on kind of where travel was pre-pandemic. So in 2019, 1.3 billion rooms were booked in the US.
1.3 billion. Got it. Okay.
Okay. In 2020, there was 829 million rooms booked, which is still fucking nuts.
Which is high given that
This
we were
country was shut down.
Yeah, that's
and
incredible.
this year they're expecting 1 billion US hotel rooms. So there's still a 300 million delta of hotel rooms that have not recovered from. I think in November when the international travel kicks in, obviously that'll have an impact. But I think that international travel is going to be concentrated in like New York, Las Vegas, and probably LA, Miami to begin. And then we'll see where it spreads out to the rest of the country. But it's pretty interesting because like there are like signs that business travel is coming back in some places. So Hilton in their Manhattan property, which is almost 1,900 rooms, has been closed this entire time. They just opened last week.
That's crazy.
The entire time they closed.
Yeah.
And that they're in Midtown Manhattan. And so I think they're banking on people coming back for Broadway, banking on people coming for, Macy's has confirmed the parade will go on.
I think business travel will come back. I think it's just going to take a little more time.
Yeah.
But 100%, you think?
In the next 18 months, yeah, I would say so.
I just don't see business travel going away. People love it too much.
Yes.
I just don't
People
think...
love being at that hotel bar, drinking that scotch, eating those
up some
peanuts.
IPOs. Fixing some
IPOs and
IPOs with the boys. Hey, what do you think? 1.5? Fuck it. Yeah. No, I just wonder if... Well,
No,
all I was going to say is I wonder if Zoom will take 10% of it. Like, will some of it be declined, or do you think it'll go back all the way?
So I think there's definitely corporate companies that are going to be like, hey, we didn't need to spend this much on travel. Zoom's good enough. Mm-hmm. But then that'll get replaced with the work from home that are just traveling their dicks off, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that won't be business travel though.
Sure,
Well,
you can
they'll write it
classify.
off.
I think
They'll write it off as such.
I think travel will be fine.
Yeah.
How it's fragmented, the makeup will be different.
Yeah.
Because you have people work from home that decide like, hey, I can go to Montana for the week and just work there versus like, hey, the conference. Like conferences are going to come back. Everyone loves a conference.
I got to see a little bit of the Code conference live. I mean, there's a conference this week in Vegas. I think it's like a cloud computing IT. Everyone's at that. Mm-hmm. There's all the other shows are happening. Everyone is going to.
As long as people keep getting married and having children, business travel isn't going anywhere.
I get your point. Yeah. And look, I think also people who aren't married and don't have kids, they're traveling too to try to find a wife that they can go travel away from.
Oh my God. And what's interesting is speaking about our TikTok, we posted a video about the PricewaterhouseCoopers conversation where all 40,000 of their employees are working from home. And I said that it's not a highly desired place for top talent. And holy shit, were people offended. People like, if you're in accounting, that is such a top place to work. And I'm like, guess what? I guarantee you accounting grads are not dying today to work at fucking Pricewaterhouse.
Yeah. Listen, I think that at this point you could say just about anything.
Yeah. I couldn't believe the amount of people.
Imagine if you had said Pricewaterhouse is an elite corporate institution that people are dying to work for. Everyone else would be like, no, it's not. Fuck Pricewaterhouse.
Yeah. And frankly, as we know from the whistleblower, there just wouldn't be any views because no one gives a shit. Like you got to be like, fuck that place. And then it's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok is just too easy to manipulate. Oh, you can bait people into watching all your videos. All you got to do is have an opinion and you're hot. I mean, that video might fluke and get 1 million views because it's just like pissed people.
And you're pissing off accountants. Like, think how low the bar is. Like, oh my God.
You have no idea. That guy has no clue. Everyone in accounting. I'm like, who knows fucking people that went to accounting school?
Yeah, why are you even on TikTok? Go balance the books or something.
Go count.
Stop counting these views, bitch.
Bitch. Yeah, I feel like TikTok's algorithm is like sex, drugs, and arguments. Like if they can get us to just do that, we're all good.
Yeah.
But that's not a TikTok thing. That's actually a Facebook thing. Anyway, yep. Well, we'll see what happens. That's something that we'll obviously pay close attention to. And I think, if nothing else, I think once a year we'll get some good, interesting info on travel, and we'll have a good check-in.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. But I do believe a big chunk of like business travel is going to come back. I don't see it all going away.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think so much of business travel isn't people doing business. And so that for that reason, it'll stick around.
It's just something to do. People just need to they want to go places.
And I've heard from the investing world that the competitive advantage is to show up now because so many people got lazy and
propinquity.
Yes, the propinquity.
Propinquity's back.
I mean, I'll tell you, someone flew out the other day to meet me for one fucking dinner.
And you liked
propinquity.
And that
and you said
so if you're a hot founder or you're a hot investor, the founder either has to fly to the investor to get them, or the investor's gonna have to fly to the founder, and the people that don't show up are gonna lose out on the great deals.
That makes sense.
What if you're a hot girl?
You fly a lot too. Different.
I didn't say what gender. I just said investor and founder.
That's
don't
true.
Don't categorize.
Well, I'm just saying no one's flying anywhere for a hot guy.
I think it probably happens. Right?
Guys are definitely not.
What about like girls that fly out to meet with NBA players and stuff?
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of fly out. I've heard they fly out a lot of times.
I don't think they're doing it because of their looks, though.
Oh, so you're saying these women are gold diggers. So now you're making an accusation.
Can I ask a question?
Wow.
Yes. Tim, have you ever had a girl fly out to visit you?
Yes.
Same.
A month ago.
I feel like it happens.
Oh, so you guys calling yourselves hot guys?
Hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a couple of hot.
No, I think Jason just called me hot.
Clarify
what just happened.
I was trying to segue my way into putting
Jason, that sounds like you were hitting on Tim a little bit.
Yeah. You want to fly Tim out? And have a little,
come on, not in the office.
Little sword fighting?
Here we go. What?
Oh my God. All right, we're ending on that. Anything on social media? As seen on social, you guys want to share?
I've got one for you, drama. This is right up your alley. Brooks Koepka versus Bryson DeChambeau.
Yep.
November 26th, Friday at the Wynn in Las Vegas, 1-on-1.
Wow.
They famously talk shit and hate each other.
Boxing?
No, golfing.
Oh, I was like, what? You said the Wynn. I was like, what the fuck? At the Wynn, there's a golf course there?
Yeah, there's a golf course.
There's a huge golf course.
And they're doing a head-to-head match?
Head-to-head, and
that's brilliant.
They famously hate each other.
Yeah.
Don't you remember that viral where one of them was being interviewed and the other was like in the background and they're like snarling at each other?
Yeah.
But then I was told that they actually hugged after the Ryder Cup, which sucks.
It was a big moment for golf. But the point is, you could tell there was still animosity. You could tell it wasn't a real hug. And look, I think for a sport as boring as fucking golf, and I love golf, but the culture around it is boring. And actually leaning into the beef and like doing something that's good for, I'll say, like the internet is incredible. Good for golf.
Did you see that shot that Phil Mickelson did right in front of Steph Curry? Where
over his head?
It was like nuts.
Pitched it directly over his face. Yeah.
And he was standing right in front of him?
Yeah. It's so good. That's what it's starting to happen. Like Phil Mickelson is obviously really good at it. The Brooks and Bryson beef was really good. Like, but golf I've said it a trillion times, but just needs to be like, cool like that. Like reach the social media thing and a nice head-to-head. Look, if you're not going to box, I'll take head-to-head golf. I prefer you fist fight after.
Yeah, they had the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning thing.
Yeah.
So
I say box at the end. Let's do 9 holes. We'll cut out 9 and then fist fight for 3 rounds.
Yeah, these guys are only doing 12. That should be enough for a boxing match at the end.
I agree. 12 holes, 12 rounds.
Just take the clubs and just beat each other.
Just freaking Squid Games at the end.
my
What's
as
yours?
seen on social is our good friend Michael Katz, CEO of M Particle, just announced today he's raising $150 million for his startup out of New York City.
Good for
Congrats,
Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, that's a bag.
That's a bad.
That's a bag.
Yeah, 150.
Love Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
He had a really
Happy
good
for
tweet
him.
yesterday or the other day too about like sometimes people that you think are a culture fit for your company are actually just agreeable or
Yes.
just likable. You know, like he puts out some real gems on.
Yeah, he
Twitter.
actually has a great like he puts out a lot of good Medium posts if you're
Yeah.
a founder or just curious on what his views are.
And he's an OG tech founder. Like
Yeah.
he was doing it before this shit was cool.
He sold his business to Yahoo like 20 years ago.
Yeah, we should have him back on to share some gems and talk about his raise.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We'll do that.
Okay, mine is. I just wanted to follow up on because I'm real hot on the murder mystery. Apparently a hiker in the Appalachian Trail spotted Brian Laundrie looking for directions, and he said that he was in a pickup truck and he looked very disheveled. He looked sort of like he was maybe on something, and he pulled him over and asked him for directions, and he swears up and down it was Brian Laundrie. So dog's on it. Dog's closing in.
So what's the official stance right now? He has a warrant for his arrest, or he's just being asked to come in for questioning and they can't find him?
I believe that, I could be wrong here, so don't take my word for it, listeners, but I believe that he has a warrant for using her debit card after she was missing, or using a fraudulent debit card of some sort, using a debit card that wasn't his. So I believe that that's what the actual charge is. I don't think I could be wrong. I could be outdated. But either way, I know that it's at least that. So yeah, but they obviously want him for questioning for homicide. But it doesn't sound to me like there's, or at least they haven't announced it, that there's evidence like directly that he did it. Like scratch marks with his DNA but I don't know. I could be just a faulty reporter there. But where the fuck is this guy? I mean, what, he's just making his way? He told the guy he wanted to get to California because his girlfriend and him got in a fight, but she called him and told him that she loved him and he needs to get to California, but he can't take highways.
Oh my God.
Yep. So we'll see, but I'm on it. So don't anyone worry. I'm on the reporting and
The
I'm not on
dog
the
is
case.
on it.
The dog is on the case. I'm just on the report. So that's it.
Great.
All right.
There we have it. All right, guys. Any shout outs?
All right, I got a birthday shout out to Sean Paul. Not Give Me
Sean
the
the Paul.
Light.
Oh.
Sean Paul.
Damn it.
Kids, well, I mean, it could be, but this Sean's turning 24 years old. So
It doesn't quite seem to fit.
yeah, exactly. On October 6th, he's turning 24. So big birthday shout out. Group chat's been a big source of inspiration and knowledge for him for the past few months. So just wanted to wish him a happy birthday. And 24, great birthday.
Happy birthday, Sean. Listen to some Sean Paul to celebrate.
I mean, Sean Paul probably first put out a song like 25 years ago.
There's no chance this Sean Paul knows the Sean Paul we're talking about.
No, he probably had a song out while this young man was being born.
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, if you don't know about it, look it up. It'll be some good background music. If I was you, I'd just run around going, Sean Paul.
And then the other shout out is to us. We just dropped another new hot piece of merch on melroseplaceco.com. Go check out our group chat collab. And this is an homage to Christian Dior. Don't sue us. So we did a Dior t-shirt with a magnifying glass, but our Dior t-shirt is DYOR, do your own research.
Can't sue that. Sorry.
Can't sue us.
Outside of the boundaries.
Outside, very outside.
Very outside. 49% fraud. But not 50.
49% of the shirt is fraud. So basically, this shirt's going public.
Yeah. Very promising. Okay, love it. That's available now?
Available now, melroseplaceco.com. Check out the group chat tab. Dior.
Love it. Okay. All right, well, go get yourself some of that Bieber weed. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye now.